From Beaver Dam Lake to Horicon Marsh and everywhere in between, we're talking about what's important in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It is a bright, sunshiny day throughout Dodge County, sunshine and 70 degrees. Good morning and welcome to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Amy Hudson here in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and also the Daily Dodge TV studios, so please check out the stream at dailydodge.com. We have a full house this morning on Hometown Today. Next hour, we'll have the pleasure of getting together with Morley Wetland and Monica McGauley as they join us to talk about the women's affiliate of BDACC and their upcoming 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. So looking forward to welcoming those ladies to the airwaves in the 10 o'clock hour. And this hour, we have a couple of our agencies that are beneficiaries of this year's Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. We'll have a few folks from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dodge County joining us. And in just a few minutes, we'll launch into our conversation with Bev Bealake, who is the Community Engagement Director with Church Hill Services. And then I also get to thank them for the yummy desserts that they contributed yesterday to the dessert auction for the Children's Radiothon. We raised $1,700, but I think that dollar amount is going to go up a little bit because this morning when Ken picked up his treats, his desserts, he made an extra donation. So we really appreciate that, and a sincere, heartfelt note of thanks to all of our bakers, our bidders, and of course our studio helpers that we had with us yesterday, Renee Henning with Community Care and Stephanie Curtis with Watertown Family Connections. A good time was had by all, and yep, I enjoyed my rhubarb crisp for dessert last night and had a little bit for breakfast this morning. It is all good. And more ways for you to support the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. Of course, our 27-hour live on-air auction will kick off with Wade and Sherry next Thursday morning at 6 o'clock, and we'll go straight through until 9 o'clock, right up to Hometown Today, maybe a little longer as we tally up those final totals from our live on-air auction. So get ready to bid high, bid often, and get ready to fill your belly with some good eats tonight at Noodles and Company in Beaver Dam. So here's what's happening. Actually, this is tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Thursday. Yesterday was so busy. Tomorrow night from 4 to 8, you want to head over to Noodles and Company in Beaver Dam and enjoy your favorite dish, whether it's mac and cheese. I love the penne rosa. It's got a little bit of spice to it. Whatever your favorite dish is from Noodles and Company in Beaver Dam tomorrow from 4 to 8, enjoy that. And please mention the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon when you place your order, and know that 25% of that will go to benefit the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. And there is a code that you're going to need to use when you place your order online, and that is giving25. And yeah, giving back never tasted so good. Looking forward to talking with Bev Bealake. She will join us in just a few minutes. She is the Community Engagement Director for Church Hill Services. Hometown Today brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam, and presented by Professional Floor Covering Your Floor and so much more. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
This is Randy from Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Oh, it really is going to feel like a summer day today as we work our way to a high of 85. And just know, as we start to get into the evening, there will be chances for showers and thunderstorms. We heard Kara talking with Wade and Sherry this morning about how some of them may be severe. We're kind of on the outskirts, but as we know, that can change in an instant. So if the weather does take a turn towards being severe this afternoon, this evening, of course, we will definitely make sure that you are in the know and keep you updated on that situation. We're at 70 degrees already. Sunshine. It feels so good. Thank you again to all of our bakers and our bidders and our studio helpers yesterday for the Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon dessert auction. Know that if you wanted dessert yesterday, if you had the highest bid, you can pick that up until 4:30 today here at the studios at 100 Bill McCullum Way, and cash or check only. So many beautiful desserts, so many tasty treats, all for a really good cause. And I got to enjoy one of them last night. Rhubarb crisp, had it for dessert. We had some classic Rice Krispie treats with M&Ms and some sugar cookies that were picked up this morning by Ken. And all of those three things were donated thanks to our friends at Church Health Services. And I'm so happy to welcome to Hometown today Bev Beelake, who is the Community Engagement Director with Church Health Services. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Amy. Thanks for having us.
Oh my goodness, I was just going to thank you for being with us and for bringing all those tasty treats in for the dessert auction yesterday. It was wonderful and so very much appreciated.
And the bakers were very excited to be able to contribute. And I know some of those baked goods because we get to taste them by Church Health Services now and again. They're delish.
Hopefully you're enjoying some of those tasty treats all year round, because that rhubarb crisp, phenomenal, so good. And my husband and I were kind of empty nesters, at least for last night. And I was like, there's no way we can eat all of that rhubarb crisp. We're not even going to attempt that. Yeah. Over the next few days, we will be joined with representatives from our 16 agencies that are beneficiaries for this year's Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. And that is why you are joining us today from Church Health Services. And so this is the time where we don't have to rush through everything like often we do the day of the 27-hour live on-air auction, because it's so important, Bev, as you know, especially as the Community Engagement Director. It's so important that people are aware of Church Health Services, the services that are provided, and also, if you need help with things throughout the year, whether it's a call for volunteers or things like that. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about Church Health Services and what the mission is and how you do help people. So let's start there.
All right. Well, we our name Church Health Services came from our very first location. We were located in a church. So during the week, the Sunday school rooms were our clinic rooms.
Oh, okay.
And on the weekends, they became Sunday school rooms again. We grew out of that space, and the church was also wanting some more space. So that was in 2011 that we purchased the building on the corner of Maple and Center. That was formerly a parish center. And we remodeled and converted it into our clinic and office space. Okay. So we've been there since 2012. So for 30 years, we have had a presence in the community. We started out providing medical care. Our founder was a physician, and he and his pastor believed in a holistic, faith-based approach to health, that things can be wrong in different arenas of your life and impact your health significantly.
Absolutely. I think more people are becoming aware of that,
right.
that connection.
Yep. And he, at that time, and still wasn't happy with the short amount of time healthcare providers are given to meet with their clients or patients, especially the ones that have multiple issues going on. Mm-hmm. So in our new location, we have gone from just offering some medical healthcare services to mental health care services, substance abuse help, and we have a dental clinic. We have a 4-chair dental clinic on one end of the building. So we can have 2 dentists working and have the chairs being filled, which is great because right now we have 2 part-time dentists, and a third has recently joined us as a volunteer dentist. He's a newly retired dentist. And that allows us to get people scheduled sooner. Right now, we're booked out into October, November for dental hygiene and for dental appointments. There isn't a wait list right now, which is great, but still, some of us want that care a little. We have needs that should be looked at sooner. So while we are always ready to take emergencies, because we don't want anyone in pain, and yet I will also say we can't do everything in our dental clinic. But we do a lot to help people with pain in their mouth and to get them on to better health.
That's a lot of growth over the years when you talk about how Church Health Services started and then incrementally how more services were made available. Is that because you saw a need in the community here?
Yeah, that is one thing that our board of directors, our executive directors that we've had have always been very good about discovering, looking for, listening to the community, and realizing that there are needs that aren't being met. There are gaps in the system, and we serve the low-income population, which when we started 30 years ago were people without any insurance. They didn't have private insurance or their businesses didn't offer it. And it still pertains to anyone whose household income falls under 200% of federal poverty level. For most of our services, for some it's a little bit higher poverty level. But it's those patients and clients who, if you need a dentist and you have Medicaid coverage, dentists aren't able to take any and all with that coverage because it's a lower reimbursement. And I can tell you from us having our clinic that there are a lot of disposables used with dental care for good reason, but it's costly. A one patient visit, I don't have the number, but it's costly because most of the stuff that is used to examine, like with the dental hygienist, gets thrown out. So you have to constantly be replacing it.
Absolutely. And you can't reuse any of that stuff. No. Bev Violake, the Community Engagement Director for Church Health Services, with us here this morning on Hometown Today. When you talk about Church Health Services having a presence in our community for 30 years, how did you come into that group, and how long have you been a part of Church Health Services doing what you do as Community Engagement Director?
Well, I've been around the block a while. So.
Well, we were joking before we hit the air that we were hoping Ninja could take at least 10 years off of us, with our fancy lights in the Daily Dodge TV studios.
I was a hospital employee. I have a cardiopulmonary background.
Okay.
And I had decided at that time in my family's life that I was going to leave that job and wasn't quite sure where I was going to go. And I happened to know Lois and Mike Augustin through the hospital. And I was like home for 3 days, and I got a call from Lois wondering if I'd be willing to help out very few hours. I think I started at 8 hours a week.
Oh, okay.
And might have been a pay period, so 4 hours a week. Anyway, long story short, it was to help with a grant. We had an Avon breast healthcare grant. So I took care of managing that for them and tracking the numbers and things. And that grew into special events and fundraisers and grew into social media and the community engagement director.
What about 10 hours? Maybe 15, Bev.
And then it was 30. And right now I'm at 20 and trying to keep it around 20. But there's so much to do. There's so much going on. And you know as well as I do that just social media posts, and we have a monthly newsletter that I take care of, and just getting that word out. And then, of course, getting all the material that you need to put out.
It's a lot.
But we have a lot going on. So it's not too tough finding the material. It's just getting our story and talking about what's going on and trying to get the word out, because there are still people who don't know what Church Health Services is.
Well, we'll talk more about what Church Health Services is, again, the services provided, and talk about the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon and what that means to Church Health Services being able to continue to provide some of the services that it does. Bev Beal Lake, the Community Engagement Director with Church Health Services, with us here this morning on Hometown Today, brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam, and presented by Professional Floor Covering, Your Floor, and so much more. This is your go-to place when you need flooring throughout your home, when you need upgrades in your kitchen like countertops and cabinets, and your bathroom. They can even help you renovate your bathroom with a beautiful cultured marble walk-in shower, so you're safe. You don't have to worry about stepping over that bathtub. Plus it up with a new vanity and countertop, and of course the latest waterproof flooring. Head over to the beautiful showroom at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. Have a conversation with Randy and the team. They offer a free in-store consultation along with free in-home measures and quotes. And take the cool virtual tour online at PROFLR.com. Professional floor covering, your floor, and so much more. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
floor covering, making sure you don't miss what's happening in your hometown. It's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
We are only 8 days away from kicking off the 2024 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon live 27-hour on-air auction, where we raise a lot of dollars for 16 nonprofit agencies throughout Dodge County that do incredible work with families and children. And over the next few days of Hometown Today, we will have the pleasure of talking with representatives from our organizations that are beneficiaries of this year's Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. Church Health Services, one of those 16 organizations. Their vision is for a community where everyone has access to quality health care, and really appreciate Bev Beal-Lake, the Community Engagement Director, joining us here this morning on Hometown Today. And when we talk about those services, you talked about some of them earlier that Church Health Services provide, and having their presence in our community for 30 years now, and as you see a need, trying to accommodate that, that is a huge accomplishment. Like how much has happened, over these 30 years. So, thanks to you and Karen and the whole team at Church Health Services for making a big difference in Dodge County, being able to provide so many types of healthcare services to folks that wouldn't sadly be able to most likely access those types of services. And being involved with the Radiothon means so much to all of the organizations. I think that folks oftentimes lose sight, or perhaps they don't know how hard it is to run a nonprofit and then to provide the types of services that Church Health Services does. So Bev, if you could please share with us what those dollars mean to Church Health Services when you're able to participate in the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. How does that help your program?
Well, being able to be an agency for the Radiothon is it's huge, because we pay our bills primarily based on successful grant writing, individual and business organizations, support from foundations, pretty much all private monies. While we do take Medicaid and get some reimbursement, Medicaid's right there with Medicare as far as its reimbursements are not always high, and it seems, from my non-billing perspective, the rules change frequently. No offense.
Just when you weren't paying attention, there's a big change.
Yeah, fundraising is huge to us, because that money gets poured into the services that we provide. So when we moved into our place on the corner of Maple and Center, we had so much empty space we didn't know what we were going to do with it. And within a year, we were putting in a dental clinic.
Oh my goodness.
And that was because there was a need that we became aware of. People couldn't get dental care if they didn't have insurance or were able to pay privately. And when you're low income, that's just not happening. And we had a couple of dentists who were semi-retired who were willing to come and volunteer their time. And the beauty of that is they also knew some dentists who were either remodeling their clinics, or maybe they were retiring, and they donated their dental operatory equipment to us.
That's
because
huge.
That equipment doesn't come inexpensively.
No.
And the Walmart Foundation, Delta Dental, and a number of other agencies such as them we were able to write for grants and get dollars to help us fully equip. So we started out with 2 chairs, and before long we went to 4 chairs.
Wow.
So we could have 4 dentists if there are any dentists who would like to work for us part-time or volunteer their time. We currently have 3 part-time dentists, all semi-retired, and they are there. We have a little bit of overlap. One is there Monday, Wednesday, one's there Tuesday, Thursday, and I think one is coming Monday, Thursday, or something like that.
That's really nice.
He's relatively new, so that's great. We have a dental hygienist, and so we can provide that needed dental care to people. I mean, you don't want to be walking around with an abscessed tooth. That's extremely painful. And that means infection, and that infection can go to other places in your body.
That's right. Yeah, it's so important to have good oral health, which is something, again, that we've learned more about over the past few years. And hearing you, just say out loud, if there are any dentists out there, that might want to volunteer their time. What about just everyday average folks that might want to volunteer their time or get involved with church health services as far as, supporting or donating? How do people reach out, and what types of needs does church health services have right now?
Pretty much in just about anything. I mean, we have a building, and we do have a very part-time staffer. Most of us are not full-time. But we have one who is custodian and does some basic upkeep. Of course, we just finished a renovation. So right now, everything is in pretty good shape.
Good.
But, there's always, if someone likes gardening or landscape work, there's always that. Internally, if there's someone who is good with technology or videos, I would love to have more social media videos available to put out there, because that seems to be the key to getting people to be aware of you.
Yeah, it's a great way for engagement.
I've been doing some, but we don't have a public relations staff of 10 or anything like that. We're smaller. We have gone from about 8 employees over the last 30 years to where we have just slightly over 30 right now.
Oh my goodness.
So we have really grown in staff, and a lot of it is our mental health counseling. That renovation was in a large part to renovate the second floor to become our mental health clinic space. So we now have workspace for all of the counselors, and we also have more counseling rooms, because we only had 3 counseling rooms, and if you have 5 counselors in the building, they can't all have appointments at the same time and see clients. So we renovated that. We took a 6-bay garage and turned it into office space for the people that no longer had office space on the second floor, and the meeting room, which is open to other organizations to use at no charge.
Oh, that's great.
You just need to give us a call, and if the schedule is open, you can use that free of charge for your group meeting.
Excellent.
If you have nowhere else to go. And we put in a couple of handicapped accessible bathrooms. So
really busy.
Really busy.
There's always work to be done.
There is always work to be done. And like I said, it could be technology. If you have expertise, if you're in healthcare, we have a volunteer pharmacist who helps us manage our pharmacy. As a free and charitable clinic, we are able to take donated medications and get them to people who can't afford them, but we need the expertise of the pharmacist and nursing staff to do that. So that's always, and we're getting donations. We're able to accept medical supply donations. People have a loved one pass away, and maybe they were on hospice, and they literally have cases of supplies that nobody wants to throw out. So as our storage space has gotten smaller, we've had to trim down what we can accept. Nobody wants to take a wheelchair down our basement steps and then haul it back up again, except for a few times. But we do try to take that, and we have developed a relationship with a couple of other organizations who, if we can't use the supplies in-house, we can donate them in turn. So they get used and not put in a landfill.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And I'd like to share the website for folks to learn more about church health services. It is churchclinic.org. And what is the phone number that folks can call, Bev? You had mentioned, you can also just give a call.
Yep. If you have any questions about our services, or you think you have something to donate, or you want to volunteer, you can give us a call at 920-887-1766. And honestly, pick option 1. I believe it's going to say dental, but Katie and Jamie are the two who are mostly there answering the phones, and they will get you to the right place rather than give you a bunch of other option numbers.
Excellent. And I look forward to seeing you or another rep from Church Health Services next Thursday during our 27-hour live on-air auction for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming in today.
And thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all the great work that Church Health Services is doing for Dodge County. Bev Bealake, the Community Engagement Director with Church Health Services, with us this morning here on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hey neighbor, this is Randy, owner of Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It is already an amazing summer day as we work our way to a high near 85. Know that clouds are going to roll in tonight, and we will have some chances for showers and thunderstorms. Some could be severe, so of course we will be on top of that for you. We are at 75 degrees already, and we're going to keep the summer party going. We have another stop on our summer patio tour tomorrow. You can join us at Zig's Lakeside Pub and Patio from 2 until 4. Really looking forward to that. Goes without saying how much we are looking forward to the 27-hour live on-air auction for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon, benefiting 16 nonprofit agencies throughout Dodge County that do amazing work with kids and families. And I'm so happy to introduce our next guest here on Hometown Today, a gentleman that I have had the pleasure of meeting before, seeing him in action as he shares the story and the need about Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin. Kurt Soderbach, the executive director, is with us here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Amy. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you for making the time. You have been so busy here. I know that you guys had a crazy successful brat fry last week at Glenn's Market and Catering. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's been our annual fundraising event for the Radiothon, and it's a lot of fun, and we get the good time of the year where it's not too hot, and it was beautiful. It was a bit windy, and I have to say that our grillers appreciated that wind. They were not swirled in tons of brat smoke, but I do want to thank all of our volunteers that helped us and all the people that attended and bought our brats. But we had a huge list of people, and I said I would give them a shout out.
Absolutely.
So, Alicia, Dave, Brenda, Cindy, Suzanne, Sally, Bernie, Doreen, Sylvia, and Erica. I thank you so much for making it such a wonderful day.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And you had also shared with me before we hit the air together a couple of those big boxes that we see in the halls here at 100 Bill McCullum Way. Yes. Really came from your efforts spearheading something that we'll have on the auction block.
That is correct. So one of the auction items for the Radiothon next week, and I hope everybody turns in and bids a lot and supports all the wonderful agencies. Anyway, is a smoker that is presented and provided by Glenn's Market and Catering. So Jeff Roberts has been a true supporter. He's been past president of our agency, and he had that as an opportunity to provide that, and I think when it goes online, I expect it to sell. Its value is about $700, so let's see if we can't get that out of that. Nothing better than smoking some good meats on summertime.
Yeah, and even though the Radiothon auction is post-Father's Day, what a great surprise that would be for Dad or Grandpa, afterwards. That's fantastic.
Yes, great idea. Even if you forget, especially if you forget, that's no way to say, "Oops, I'm sorry, but I really love you, Dad."
Here's the $700 smoker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hint girls, Erica, Andy, if you're watching.
So I had the pleasure of meeting you earlier this spring. There was a get-together that was all about Big Brothers Big Sisters
Correct.
of South Central Wisconsin. And I was really impressed with all of the information that you had shared with the group that night, and also your passion and dedication to the program. And Big Brothers Big Sisters is, that name of the agency. I think folks are familiar with that. I mean, I remember hearing about Big Brothers and Big Sisters from a young age, but there's so much to the program, and Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin serves such a large portion of our area here. So Kurt, if you could please focus on that, and there's so much to share. So you start where you need to, but let's talk about Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin, the services, really some of the life-changing programs that are available, and the difference that you make here.
I'd be happy to. So Big Brothers Big Sisters started as Big Brothers back in 1904. And so it's been around, and the concept was that there were some kids without fathers and boys without fathers that needed a role model in their lives, but they didn't want it to be considered another parent. So that's kind of where that big brother, the brother-sister feeling was. An older brother can tell, a sibling, what to do in a different way, and they may get through in a different way. So that was kind of the genesis of the program. And for 100 plus years, the vast majority of the success was by having what we call a community match, where an individual from the community, an adult from the community, would be connected with a child under 18. Typically, we can have children as young as 5, so 5 through 18, but usually it's in that 9 to 11 year age range that we would match with them, and they would pick that child up from their house and go do an activity, maybe go play miniature golf, or go for a hike, or go fishing, or make some crafts, do cooking, whatever the common interest with those people. Mm-hmm. And they would do that once a week, and that match could last for lifetimes. We have board members who have attended weddings as people in the wedding, that they go on. I know of bigs who go on vacations with their littles and their littles families. So this is like generational, transformational relationships. And then, so that's how it has been. But our society has changed in 100 years. You probably know that. and it was nothing like a good pandemic to highlight some of the shortcomings in our model versus the needs while the needs were growing. And so it's a sad fact that across the United States, about half of the agencies in the last 5 years have closed.
Oh my goodness, that is startling.
And so where there once was almost 500 agencies, there's right now about 230.
I bet the need hasn't changed,
but the need has not changed at all. And so the model of a community-based program has lots of strengths, but some of the challenges, especially in rural areas, is the distance between people's houses, people where they live, where they work. We don't think of anything. I live in Janesville. I don't think of anything of driving an hour to come up here but to do that on a weekly basis while you're doing your job, having your own family, travel that far, it can be a real challenge. So I've been here for 3 years, but sometime before then, we started a site-based program where we work primarily with schools, and we allow that big to come in and over lunchtime or another time have that opportunity to have that one-to-one mentorship where you can talk. You may not go fishing, but you might talk fishing. You may not bake cookies, but you might do a sewing project. You crochet, things like that. And so then that program had started, and it really became what we see as the best way for us to provide that mentorship, provide that additional role model in a child's life. These children, little demographics on it, 3 out of 4 of our children live in single-family homes. More than half of them, 4 out of 5, actually are on free or reduced lunches. And this is the one that chokes me up, but 1 out of every 4 of our kids have a parent in the criminal justice system, either in jail, probation, or parole. And those are things that I can't even wrap my head around. And yet we're not trying to save them from that. What we're trying to do is support the family. The family's really trying to do good things. And so what we're trying to do is support that family. So one of the things that we launched 2 years ago this fall is an opportunity for our site-based matches to do monthly activities out in the community. So we didn't want to take that community opportunities, those things that are kind of special. So what we've done is for example, a couple of months ago, Elemental was a new release movie, and we had a movie night, a free movie afternoon actually, at Town Cinema, where all the matches could come and the people that are in process, those types of people can come and do that. And then the newest thing is that we are working not only with people like you and me, which we invited you to consider, and we're building that program where we bring in those lunch buddies as adults, but our real strength right now is matching high school kids with younger kids.
Oh,
and in that
okay.
way, we are really starting to, we're serving 2 youth in every match.
Yeah.
And as one of our champions in our program has said, when she hires people now, the pandemic really weakened those social soft skills. So even people that are successful, and young adults that are successful, they haven't had those interaction, those soft skill opportunities. And so this is a real opportunity for them to work on those, to also learn, what it's like to be with a kid that doesn't have everything, that a child that may have food insecurity, shelter insecurity, what that means. And not that they don't do tutoring, they just become a big brother or big sister.
Yeah, that's really very wonderful, and congratulations on that new element in the program. That's a big deal, to be able to match those high school students with the littles.
And we really did it initially out of desperation, because we were having the challenge of getting adults, and yet we had these kids that are desperately needing that additional role model in their lives. And so I looked at the bylaws of the national organization, and we could have high school kids, and I'm like, well, at the time I had a high school senior, and I'm like, she would do it. I have no question about that. And her friends are the type that, and so we launched it at our local, my daughter's high school, and now it is spreading, and we're working in 2 communities right now in Dodge County to make a major announcement about those programs this fall.
Well, I'm hoping you can stay with us for a few more minutes, because
Absolutely.
I certainly want you to share how folks can get involved, be a mentor, be a big, and also share with us what the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon means to Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin.
My pleasure.
Kurt Soderbach. All right, I got it. I was nervous about that. Kurt Soderbach, the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin, with us here this morning on Hometown Today, which is presented by Professional Floor Covering, Your Floor, and so much more, and brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam. We're pretty fancy down here in the Daily Dodge TV studios. I don't know, what do you think about a lift chair in here, Kurt? We could kick back, maybe get a little massage during the conversation. McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam at 131 Front Street has the largest selection of lift chairs in our area. Power lift chairs that will easily help you get up and down. They start at $695 and come in a lot of different sizes, small and petite to the big man's chair. And you can even get those add-in features like the adjustable headrest, lumbar support, heat and massage, all those good things. And know that if you have a loved one in an assisted living facility, you can count on McKinstry's Home Furnishings to deliver that. Check them out online at mckinstrysHomeFurnishings.com, but you got to go in for all the feels and to see all the things. 131 Front Street in downtown Beaver Dam, McKinstry's Home Furnishings. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hit the road.
From Margazan to Marshall, Fox Lake to Fall River, Watertown to Waupun, and everywhere in between, we're talking about what's important in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Sunshine and 70 degrees throughout Dodge County right now. It really feels like we should be launching into the weekend with such a beautiful day. And I'm hoping that Friday, of course, is going to be nice. Right now, it's looking like it will be. We have a world famous brat fry for you to join us at this Friday. Your destination is Randolph. You will find us at Horicon Bank and Marshview Vet Clinic. So join us there. It's at 620 Jones Drive. And as always, $2 gets you that tasty Pernat brat and a beverage. And it's always a lot of fun, to enjoy that between 11 and 2 and then to learn about what is happening, where we're at. So, of course, there'll be folks for you to chat it up with from Horicon Bank and Marshview Vet Clinic. Our brat fries powered by AmeriGas, and you can take a look at all the places we will be with our world famous brat fries on the brat fry page at dailydodge.com. Amy Hudson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and the Daily Dodge TV studios as we stream live at dailydodge.com. Next Thursday, kicking off at 6 a.m. with Wade and Sherry, will be our 27-hour live on air auction benefiting the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. 16 agencies will be benefiting from all the dollars raised, and I really have been enjoying getting to know some of the directors, some of the volunteers that are a part of our 16 agencies, and I'm really thankful that Kurt Soderbach, the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin, is joining us for a few more minutes here on Hometown Today. Kurt, tell us about why the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon is of benefit to Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin. How does it help the program?
It is absolutely critical for our survival. We 100% of the dollars that we used to pay for everything as raised by generosity of others, be it the John Moser, a good friend of mine, I miss him every day, Radiothon, or individuals. We have had a major donor from Park Village Shopping Center. Bob Keller has stepped up and given us a lead gift to help launch these high school programs up in this area.
That's wonderful. When he's not on the tennis court,
yeah, I know.
Bob is busy being very helpful.
And but this is equally critical. We have it's helped us stay open, to be quite honest. I just was on the phone yesterday with our insurance person, and right now it is about $150 per match that we have to pay in liability insurance.
Wow.
And it's just taking that into consideration. And that's gone up, and it's going to continue to go up. But support from people like this allows us to cover those things so that our volunteers can feel safe and protected, that they are, when they are meeting with our children, and their families can feel protected and safe, that we are providing quality care and support.
Yeah, and there is such a need, especially for mentors. And
Absolutely.
how can folks get in touch with you, involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin?
The easiest way is to reach out to our info email address, and that is info at BBBS, so Big Brothers Big Sisters, the number 4 kids kids.org. BBBS for kids.org. So that would be info at BBBS4kids.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ninja, for keeping my microphone on.
And look forward to seeing
And
you
thank
next
you, Good Karma
Thursday.
Brands.
Oh, thank you. We sincerely appreciate the great work that you do.
And let's break the record this year.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have that big fancy smoker that Kurt was talking about earlier, of course, on the auction block during the 27-hour live on-air auction for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, and you too.
Kurt Soderbach, the executive director for Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Wisconsin, joining us here this morning on Hometown Today, and looking forward to welcoming our next guests here in the Daily Dodge TV studios and the Slumberland Furniture studios. Morley Wetland and Monica McGauley will be joining us to talk about the women's affiliate of BDACC and the upcoming 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. Get ready. They join us next here on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Grill professional floor covering. You're listening to Hometown Today on the 5,000-watt flamethrower on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
To the Women's Field, but also with the American Legion Auxiliary, we run the food booth.
That beautiful voice right there is the voice of Lois Levenhagen. She is one of our 3 guests for this segment of Hometown Today. We're also joined by Morley Wetland and Monica McGully, and we have a big conversation that we are about to launch into, a lot to learn as we talk about Women's Affiliate of BDACC and the upcoming 53rd Annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. So thankful that each of you are here. Thank you for your time. And Lois, I know you had just shared that you have the food booth, so we're of course going to talk about that. But first of all, I must ask, how was your time during the 4th Annual Wisconsin Arts and Peony Festival? Because you had a very, very big part of the event. And I'm always so nervous about mispronouncing names because I don't want to do that. But I was so blown away when I learned that you for so many years had made those beautiful jackets that we would see on the UW Marching Band director. And here's where I don't want to mispronounce his last name. Would you do it for me, please?
Michael O'Crowan.
Thank you very much. Okay. How was the presentation with Michael and
everything went
everything?
Great. Yeah, it went great. We were both after 3 days. Well, he was here only on Sunday, but I was at the display like for 3 days. I was pooped every night, and he was too. Because he walked in to see the display and he didn't get to see it until we closed it down Sunday night that he could look at it because people mobbed him.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
yeah.
It was a huge deal to have that here in Beaver Dam.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that everything went well, and again, thankful that each of you are here with us today in the Daily Dodge TV studios. And I can tell that Monica is like, wow, this is like a TV studio down here. It is. And we have Jeff Hall upstairs in the Summerland Furniture Studios. Please check out the stream at dailydodge.com and join the conversation. I am really interested to learn about the women's affiliate of BDACC. I've been here in the Dodge County area now for a little over 6 years. So I've been one time to that amazing craft fair in the park. So really looking forward to hearing what we can look forward to with the 53rd Annual Craft Fair in the park. But we have to start with how this all came to be, and we want to learn about the women's affiliate of BDACC. So who wants to start? That's a big question. I see a point from Lois. Okay. So share a little bit about yourselves, how you became involved with the organization, and what inspired you to do so. We'll start with you, Morley.
Well, I actually moved to the Beaver Dam area about 4.5 years ago, and I was completely new to the area, didn't know anything about Beaver Dam, didn't know anybody. And through the course of living here, I've met some wonderful ladies, and I was invited to join Women's Affiliate. I heard what its mission was to promote Beaver Dam and its organizations and community events, and I said, hey, that's for me. I want to be part of the organization, and so I joined. I've only been a member a little less than a year, but I have to say it's been a wonderful experience, and I would encourage any of the women out there who wish to join to please feel free to join us. We would welcome having you.
Where did you move from?
I actually moved from the western side of the state. I came from the Laval area, which is a little west of Reedsburg. And I had lived in a lake community there, and that was a wonderful community as well. But Beaver Dam was definitely bigger. It's a small city, and it's perfect for us, just perfect.
That's really nice. Well, this seems silly saying this because you've been here for a few years, but welcome. And way to go, like trying to find a niche for yourself, wanting to be involved, and finding what sounds like you found your niche.
Well, I certainly hope so. I know I've certainly met a lot of very wonderful people, and I mean that sincerely. People here have been so nice, and what I have really enjoyed seeing was the fact that so many of the people who live here have roots that go very deep. And so when you bring up someone's name, you don't dare say anything not too nice because they've known him a long time. No, and I just mean they're just such nice people. Nice people.
Absolutely. Monica, I think the last time I saw you was at the ribbon cutting for the splash pad. I remember looking for, I was coming out of the ladies' room and was on my way for a group picture. And I missed the fun group picture. Everybody had their beach balls. We were all celebrating. But that made it okay for me because I was able to have a nice conversation with you. Yeah. So it was really nice. When did you become involved with Women's Affiliate?
So I've been involved for probably 5 years or so. I became a member of the Chamber of Commerce when I opened my Edward Jones business here in town. And so when I realized that they had sort of this arm of volunteerism, I wanted to go ahead and be part of that. I have a long history of volunteerism in Dodge County in particular. My family was heavily involved with Lipstick 4-H Club. And so once my kids graduated from high school, it seemed like an appropriate way to continue to do volunteer work in Beaver Dam. And then the proceeds of that volunteer work actually goes to fund different activities, sponsorships in town for anything that really meets our mission of the Women's Affiliate. So.
Let's talk about the mission. What? Which one of you would like to share that?
So.
Well, the mission of Beaver Dam Women's Affiliate is to, of course, promote the community, its events, activities, help organizations achieve their goals, whether they're scholarships or high school kids attending like Badger Girls and Boys States. The Swan Park development, huge. Project that we're involved with, and just we go on and on.
And I think we built the little shelter that's up on the hill years ago too. We put money towards that, I think.
I think, predominantly it's been kind of the women's offshoot of the chamber, at least historically.
Okay.
And so it started back in, what year was that?
1962. We started in 1962.
Yeah.
We were an offshoot of the Chamber of Commerce, which at that time I think was pretty much a men's organization. And so the wives and women professionals in the town did want to become involved in the community, and they became the chambermaids. And they kept that name until 1985 when they changed it to the Women's Affiliate.
Yeah, a little more appropriate.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have this
business
visual, like, woo, all right, like, just done
Yes.
with that. Yeah, that is, that term is very aged.
Yes.
Absolutely, and I think we all laugh about it now. Seriously, because it is a very a unique term. But the Women's Affiliate, that has a nice sound to
It
it.
sure does.
And I think
that.
it definitely speaks to the support of business women in the community is where its focus was.
Yeah.
And so I think that name definitely served it
Right.
better. Yeah.
Good.
But I don't know that now that you have to actually be a businesswoman
Right,
to
you
be a
don't.
member of the Women's Affiliate. It's a group of women who just enjoy helping out their community.
Right.
I like it. Lois, when did you become involved?
About 5 or 6 years ago, about the same time Monica came along, and we
Okay.
joined about the same time. And I've been in this community now for 40 some years, and I always went to the craft show, and it was just so neat. And I thought I'd like to be involved with this, And then one of the ladies in the group invited me as a guest, and I signed up, and here I am.
That is fantastic. We're joined this morning by Lois Levenhagen, Monica McGauley, and Morley Wetland, who join us today with the Women's Affiliate of BDACC. We're learning about what this group is all about, the wonderful things that they do. I do want to hear about, some of those current events that you're promoting. I know we'll talk obviously about the upcoming craft fair, but Morley, when you were talking about, some of the different activities and promoting the events, what are some of those things that you're looking forward to this year, in addition to the craft fair?
I think one of the biggest things that we do as part of the sponsorship, people actually contact us to apply for generally financial assistance for any activities that they're going to participate in. And so one of the highlights of our meetings, which is the second Wednesday of each month, starting at 5 o'clock at Tower Lanes, is guest speakers that will come in and talk a little bit about what they are trying to achieve and how we can help them. So that generally is something that happens monthly, which is always really fun and interesting to hear what's going on in the community.
Oh, I bet.
And how we can
And-
support
yes.
it.
You get to discover
Yeah.
new things too and meet
Oh,
new
yeah.
people that way.
I think one of the recent ones, we had a tour basically of the fire department because they have a youth, not really a youth group, but a
The
high
cadet
school program now,
Yes.
where they are trying to encourage young people to participate in emergency service careers. So it was kind
And
of a
that
fun
was
thing.
extremely interesting.
And
Yes.
really important because
Absolutely.
for many years now there has been such a shortage of folks pursuing that as a
Right.
career, and we did have the opportunity to have some of those cadet students on Hometown Today a couple of months ago, and I
Yes.
was
Same
so
thing.
happy when I saw earlier this week they're in New York on their trip. They certainly
Yes.
did
Yeah,
a lot
we
of
helped them with their
fundraising.
trip.
Yes.
Yeah, we gave them some money for their
We
trip.
actually contributed a little bit towards that as well.
Oh, that is wonderful. Looking
Yes.
forward to continuing the conversation with our guests this morning on Hometown Today. We have Morley Wetland with us, Monica McGauley, and Lois Levenhagen representing the women's affiliate of BDACC. Hometown Today presented by Professional Floor Covering, Your Floor, and so much more, and brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hi, this is Randy, owner of Professional Floor Covering, and you're listening to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hometown Today, all about shining the spotlight on our friends and neighbors throughout Dodge County. If you have an event happening in your hometown, there is someone that you think we really need to have a conversation with, please let us know. Simply send us an email to WBEVHometown@goodkarmabrands.com. Amy Heltson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and the Daily Dodge TV studios as we stream live at dailydodge.com. Joined by three lovely ladies here this morning on Hometown Today, all a part of the women's affiliate of BDACC. We have Morley Wetland. I just love your first name.
Oh, thank you.
That's really beautiful. Monica Magali. I also love your name too, Monica.
Oh, thank you very much.
And Lois, you can't be left out. And I feel better now that you told me if I think of 11, I will be able to properly pronounce your last name. So Lois Levenhagen also with us here this morning. And we're learning about some of the great work that the women's affiliate of BDACC does. And we're going to share how you can get involved and want to make sure that you have a very important date on your calendar, on your radar. Invite your friends, invite your family, because there is a huge, and that is not a word that is just, used to exaggerate a little bit. The craft fair is absolutely huge, and it's not your ordinary craft fair. This year, it is the 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. It is a lovely way to enjoy the day and support our friends and neighbors. And I just learned before, while we were in break, that not only is this your biggest fundraiser, it's also your only fundraiser. And we only talked about a couple of little things regarding the difference that those dollars make when you have them involved as part of a scholarship or you're helping a group. So we really do have a lot to talk about. But let's talk about the 53rd annual upcoming Day in the Park Craft Fair. This is fun.
Yep. Well, as you had mentioned, it's going to be on July 14th between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Our vendors, which I believe are plentiful, are going to be setting up prior to that time. We do want to do a shout out to Higher Grounds Coffee, who will be supplying coffee for our vendors.
Cheryl is so generous.
I know.
Yes.
So as they
Great
do set
coffee.
up, absolutely. There will be on-street parking, as there has been in the past. However, we did get permission as well and are partnering with Marshfield Medical Center to use their parking lot at the corner of South University and Webster Street for parking. We will be having busing from that location to an area by the new splash pad at Swan City, but kind of at East South Street and Radel Street. So be sure to watch for those signs for that. Other things that we are going to be doing, we have lots of vendors. I'm going to kind of turn over to Morley to talk a little bit about what people have in store.
And this is impressive because it's not just 50 vendors, not just even 100. You have more than that.
Oh, we absolutely do have more. When I last spoke to our committee member, Shelley, who gets the list of all the vendors, at that point she was at 172.
Oh my goodness.
That was a month ago.
Oh wow, we need an update.
Since then, I don't have the exact number, but we've had many more requests, and last year, I think we had about 140. Now, this year, we already know we have 172 plus vendors. And the vendors sell an amazing display of goods. Yard art, home decor, woodworking, quilting, hair pieces and accessories, pottery, painted stones, just a wonderful array of beautiful things. I know I have spent some nice, I have purchased some really nice things from the craft fairs that I have attended in the past. It's just an amazing display.
Well, in really unique items, I always find it fun to actually do my holiday shopping or birthday shopping because you get unique pieces, and it can be, any of the mediums that you described, Morley. And then you get to check it off your list and just, don't forget to wrap it. Don't forget where you've hit it. I've done that before.
Yeah.
So many of the items that we have there are things that I have never seen in your normal stores. I mean, they're just so creative and so inspired. I just find it amazing to walk through. There are just so many different things to look at. The colors, the variety. And of course, there's lots of people to talk to along the way as well.
Yeah, and all of the conversation and of course the shopping makes people hungry, like really hungry. Just hearing you talk about 172 plus vendors, that is literally a day in the park.
Oh, yeah.
At Swan Park, which is just beautiful. So Lois, as we were getting set to kick off the segment, you were talking about how you had up the food stand. So folks don't have to worry about leaving and coming back. They can just stay right there at Swan Park.
Yeah, I'm with the American Legion Auxiliary, and this is our 4th year we're running the food stand. And I thought I'd just give you kind of an idea what we had gone through last year. I mean, almost 200 hot dogs and 170 plus cheese slices.
Oh my goodness.
Over 10 cases of a 40 package loan of chips in a case, so it's 400 chips, 10 cases of that, then, and more yet. And then the hot dogs and our hamburgers, when we had hamburgers and cheeseburgers, it was well over 500
Wow.
that we went, and we ran out last year. So this year
Unbelievable.
we have our first meeting tomorrow, so we'll have to up our things up and check on stuff too. And almost 500 bottles of water and soda. I think we had like 30 cases of 12 packs. We went through a lot of that. So we go through a lot of food. and then we have nachos and cheese, and we have some little fruit packages we make up, and we have a bake sale
Oh my goodness.
that we put on at the same time. Right.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
And who's baking all of those tasty treats? I have to ask because we had our dessert auction yesterday.
Our auxiliary ladies.
Oh, so it's the really good stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's homemade. It's good.
Yeah.
And we kept it down to like bars, something you can carry around to eat, because a lot of people want, we don't sell like a full cake or pie because it'd be hard to carry that
Yeah.
around and stuff. So and people like to eat while they're walking.
Yeah.
So we've kept it down to cookies and bars, that type of thing, Rice Krispie bars, brownies, all
Easy
kinds of
stuff.
Easy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to add that not only can you shop and eat, there are also many activities available for a bouncy house for the kids as well.
Oh.
Face painting. And of course, we have music, live entertainment
Yep.
in the morning and then again in the afternoon.
That's wonderful.
And our musicians are well known, and Monica can certainly speak to that.
Yep, we're going to, Sam Road Wild will be taking the stage from 9 to 11. And apparently, I've not heard Sam, but apparently he is very popular. Classical music inspired by performances that he has had really throughout his lifetime. He apparently sang with the Florentine Opera Chorus
Oh my
at one
goodness.
point. So the opera has really influenced his music. So we get a nice blend of that for classical.
That
then
would just sound so lovely in the park.
Yes,
that is
absolutely,
really going
in
to be
the-
very nice.
Yeah.
And then also Elwood Lee, our very own
Oh, my
Elwood Lee,
goodness.
Yes.
He's a
will
rock
be,
star.
Yep,
Yes,
taking
he is.
stage from noon to 3. And basically, I think we all identify him as kind of being a child prodigy. Has been playing since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a full day of fun, and we're just about a month out, if
Yeah.
you can't believe it. And Morley, there's no way that you could know this, but as we were getting set to, or maybe you do, maybe you have your ways. Before we were getting set to launch Hometown Today, you were one of the first folks that reached out to join us, and we wanted to secure the date right away, and I just remember having such a lovely conversation with you, so thank you for reaching out.
Well, you're very welcome. We really would like to promote this event because it's such a spectacular one. And like you had mentioned earlier, it really is our only fundraiser. And with the money that we garner from the craft fair, that's what enables the Women's Affiliate to help so many of the worthy organizations around town throughout the year.
And we will be talking about some of those organizations throughout our conversation. We do have to take a quick break. Again, this morning on Hometown Today, we are joined by Morley Wetland, Monica McGully, and Lois Levenhagen, all a part of the women's affiliate of Beaver Dam, and they have their big fundraiser, their only fundraiser. So please come out and support them. This is going to be such an amazing day, July 14th. Between 9 and 3 at Swan Park. It's amazing. We'll have you share again, Monica, the details for the parking, because that's great. We've partnered with Marshfield Medical Center at Beaver Dam and making it really easy and convenient for folks. This will happen rain or shine. A lot for you to enjoy, in addition to all the shopping, all the great eats that Lois was talking about. You can shop and eat, live entertainment. That is going to be lovely. Activities. There's really going to be a bounce house. I can't get in those anymore, but my kids still love them. And it's really going to be a great time. So we'll continue our conversation with Morley, Monica, and Lois when Hometown Today continues here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Professional floor covering, bringing together friends and neighbors on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Our Milwaukee Brewers have an early game here today, so of course we have all the action for you as they continue their series at home against the Blue Jays. It was a tough loss last night. I like how Wade Bates, our sports director, is like, it's no big deal, but really, 3-0. So maybe, in the light of day, things will turn around. Join us as the pregame show hits the air at 12:35 this afternoon, and the first pitch being tossed out at 1 o'clock at American Family Field. Amy Hudson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and also the Daily Dodge TV studios as we stream live at dailydodge.com. We have the pleasure of welcoming 3 ladies with the women's affiliate of Beaver Dam. We have Morley Wetland with us this morning, along with Monica McGauley and Lois Levenhagen. Thank you again for making the time to join us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having
You
us.
have your only and your biggest fundraiser just about a month away here, July 14th. We want everybody to come on out to Swan Park between 9 and 3 for the 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. Morley, you had shared earlier that at last count, which was about a month ago, 172 plus vendors set to transform Swan
Yes.
Park. Was so excited to hear that live entertainment will be a part of the day. Monica, you were talking about that along with activities, great food. Lois, you're charging up the food stand for us that day on July 14th, and you have a really big job because people get hangry. They get really hungry and then they get a little angry, and we're loving everything, but that's good to know that you'll be at the ready to have those good eats.
And to get the line going, we actually have 2 cash registers, and we only deal with cash. We don't have charge cards.
Okay, good. Keep it moving.
Good to know.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And, like any event, there are so many things that happen behind the scenes that, you don't know what you don't know, and it's for people to enjoy. And sometimes people have no idea that the event they're attending is a fundraiser, that maybe it took, 50 people behind the scenes to make everything happen, because there is so much that goes into any event. This is a huge event, and thank you, along with the other volunteers that make it happen, volunteers and sponsors. So if you would like to, please, take a few minutes and thank those sponsors and those volunteers, because this is going to be a wonderful day on June 14th.
Absolutely.
Or July 14th.
July
Did I say
14th,
June?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
July, July, July 14th, Swan Park. Okay.
Absolutely. So absolutely, we would not get this off the ground without sponsors and volunteers. Just would like to give a shout out to K&B here in Beaver Dam, Summit Credit Union, Edward Jones Investments, Kladowski Real Estate, Lidke Motors, State Farm Insurance, WDI, JB Mechanical, Richards Insurance, and the Peter Seipel Foundation, all which historically have been helpful to sponsor us. Also, we have a very large number of people, part of groups. In particular, in the past, we've had the help from the Beaver Dam Muskies, Lipstick 4-H Club, the high school wrestling team here in Beaver Dam, Scouts, FFA, hockey team, basketball team, soccer team. This year, those who are going to be helping us out, specifically with vendor loading and unloading, is going to be the Beaver Dam High School wrestling team and FFA. Girls hockey will be helping vendors as well as serving ice cream. And then the Beaver Dam Soccer Club will be helping with just managing just garbage, bathroom maintenance, things like that for us this year.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
That's a big
those
deal.
basic needs, along with the great food that Lois is in charge of. Yeah, you have to think about all of those things.
All the
And how
details.
wonderful to get all those youth groups involved too. That's really wonderful.
And I think when you start working in this capacity, seeing what makes up an event, you realize that it just doesn't happen by magic.
No.
There's a huge support network behind you that you pull together to make it a go.
Yeah. And let's talk about that support network. Is there a need for volunteers yet for this event? Do you need volunteers for other things? Do you want to do a call for members?
Well, members are greatly encouraged, yes. please come and join us. The women's affiliate in the past, years ago when it first started in 1962, there were something like 163 women. The chamber was, of course, very active, and as I mentioned earlier, the women basically were wives of the chamber of commerce members, and some of the women were in business of their own, but that was a different time, 1962. And then through the years, more organizations evolved, and our membership has dwindled, whereas now we're only a small group of women, very active, of course, but small group, and we would love to have more women join us. We meet once a month, every second Wednesday at Tower Lanes. A lot of times we get together a little earlier, 5 o'clock, to have something to eat, and our meeting is at 6. And it's a great opportunity to meet new people and to get involved in the community. So please join us.
Absolutely. Now, how can folks reach out?
If they would like more information, they can kind of email. Our email address is womensaffiliate@gmail.com. That's a great way to connect with us there. And if you want to be on site during the craft fair, we're all going to have bright orange T-shirts on.
Oh,
So,
that's an easy way to spot
yeah.
spot you guys.
So it'll be easy to find us, and any of us would be happy to let you know a little bit more about the group.
Absolutely.
Right, and as well as wearing those bright orange T-shirts, on the back of the T-shirts themselves, there will be a list of all our sponsors. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So people can actually see other people who are willing to help out our community. So I think that's just a really nice way to help thank them and to promote them as well.
Absolutely.
And like with American Legion Auxiliary, you put on the food booth, we're a small group too. If there would be an adult or two who would like to help us, we'll take them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, I mean, it's a full day. We serve from 10 to 2. And so we always need help, because we grill the hamburgers, brats, and all that stuff right there on site. And then
It's the
dish out
really good stuff.
Yeah, and then dish out the food, and stuff, the food line and stuff. So, but if there would be 1 or 2 adults that would like to help us, we have the scouts helping us with the soda. But I mean, that's kind of simple. But we still could use a few more people.
Yeah, especially you have 2 cash registers. There's a lot happening in the food stand there.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair, which is coming up on July 14th at Swan Park between 9 and 3. Lois was just talking about the food booth being open from 10 to 2, all kinds of good things to fill your belly with. And at last count, about a month ago, Morley, you said we had 172 plus vendors.
Yes.
Live entertainment, activities happening. This is your only fundraiser for the entire year. It is a huge fun event that so many people get to enjoy. We'll have you share those parking details again in a little bit, Monica. But let's talk about where those dollars go from this incredible fundraising effort. I know that we had touched on a few things, but anything that you would like to share, please do so, because I think a lot of folks will have an aha moment like, wow, they do that, and wow, they made this happen.
Well, some of the things I can speak to. Over the years, the Women's Affiliate has given out over $330,000.
Say that again.
$330,000
Ooh.
since 1962.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really impressive.
That is
I have
incredible.
to say. And just some of the over 45,000 has gone into scholarships alone. Swan Park has been a huge beneficiary of ours. We are actively involved in the new renovation that's been going on. And over the years, when I say this is over the years, there's been the park itself, the Swan Park Fountain, the Swan Park Shelter. I mean, we're talking already $65,000, $68,000, something in that neighborhood through the years. We've donated to the YMCA, to the chamber office of $15,000, the police and fire department over $10,000, playground equipment, $11,000 right there.
Wow.
So it's huge. The library, the band parents. Green Valley Clothes for Kids, church health services. So we are far-reaching.
You are.
We are not so specific. We help out the entire community.
It's really impressive,
Yes.
and so much to be thankful for. Because
Yes.
to your point, things don't just magically happen.
No,
we wish they
it doesn't.
did. It would make things easier.
Right.
But making difference in so many groups, that is an impressive list. And look at her penmanship. I know you can't see this on Daily Dodge TV. You have really nice penmanship, Morley.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Monica, would you like to expand on anything that Morley just shared regarding, that big reach, that the Women's Affiliate has with so many different groups, from police and fire to the scholarships, playground equipment.
I think that one of the
impressive.
things that was kind of near and dear to my heart when I started is Badger Girl State. I
Yes.
was a Badger Girl State recipient when I was in high school.
Okay.
And I know that Lois always comes to our meetings each year in hopes of getting donations for that very thing. And so could you talk a little bit about that process for anyone who might be interested in Badger Girl State?
Yeah, it's through the American Legion Auxiliary that we have the program, and I'm the chairman for that. And we start putting out to get sponsorships because it's $400 for the girls to go for the week. And that includes their housing and their meals. And if they want anything else, from the store, but they have to bring some money out. But basically, it's paid for. But the $400 for a week of UW Oshkosh, and it starts next week. It started this week.
Wow.
It's a really,
right, yeah.
It's a really great program aimed at citizenship,
leadership.
for young women. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah. It runs like the government, but I mean, people say, well, they hear that, Yeah, it is, but all the skills you learn in leadership and how to organize things and campaigning and everything, so many of them that have come out of it have gone on to some great jobs, and it's a good thing on their resume, too.
Absolutely.
I think another big push in the city right now is our pickleball club.
Oh my goodness!
yes,
We have
I bid on the pickleball cake yesterday. I
have
don't even
you?
play pickleball, but the cake looked so cool, and there was a pickleball right in the middle. It was a bundt cake.
Right.
yes.
So tell us about that.
Yep. So that's right now they're doing big renovations of one of the city parks to make them specifically pickleball courts, and that's been kind of the most recent big donation I think
Yeah.
that we've made.
Yes, yes, it has.
So
Do each of you play pickleball?
I do play pickleball.
Okay.
and
Hello,
and
Lois?
and so do I,
Okay.
and that's another great activity. Just keeps us moving.
Yep.
Keeps us moving.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really wonderful, and another example of your efforts really continuing to make Dodge County Beaver Dam a nice place to be.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people will be enjoying the pickleball courts.
Oh, yeah.
I just like saying pickleball.
I know. I think it's kind of fun too.
We're joined this morning on Hometowns Day by Morley Wetland, Monica McGauley, and Lois Levenhagen. We're talking about the upcoming 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair. I was surprised to learn as we were on break that even the day of last year, you had some vendors that, they showed up. You make room for them. If people do want to have a booth at the upcoming 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair happening July 14th, how do they get in touch? How do they make that happen?
Yep. So we do have a Facebook out there that does have the link for the invitation itself has a link for the activity. Otherwise, you can feel free to email womensaffiliate@gmail.com, and someone will reach out to you for that. The area itself is about 12 feet by 12 feet. Tents are recommended simply because it will be held rain or shine.
That's right. That's really important
Yes.
for folks to know. And please share that parking information because the partnership with Marshfield Medical Center is new this year, and this really is going to make things easier for folks to find a place to park.
Yeah. So in addition to on-street parking, again, trying again this year, we're partnering with Marshfield Medical Center. There will be pickup at the corner of South University and Webster Street at Marshfield Medical Center, and the drop-off location at the park will be at East South Street and Radel Street, real close to the bathhouse by the splash pad.
Okay, and when folks arrive at Swan Park, they can keep their eyes open for those bright orange T-shirts
Yes.
because they can, really take a look at all your sponsors that, were a huge help in making this 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair happen, and also have a conversation with one of you about women's affiliate and,
Right.
and getting involved. And you had mentioned again your monthly meetings happen the second Wednesday every month at Tower Lanes.
Yes.
And really easy for folks, to reach out and learn more and get involved with women's affiliate. We have just about a little over a minute left. Anything else that you would like to share today?
I just would really welcome everyone to come out and check it out. It's definitely worth your time, rain or shine. There's lots of vendors. They have some amazing articles that will be for sale. And so just come on out, enjoy the music, enjoy the good food, enjoy the companionship.
Come with your appetites. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump up my totals and stuff so I don't run out, hopefully, now that we even got about 20 more vendors too and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're meeting, in fact, tomorrow, the group, a committee for that, so we're gonna have to bump our numbers up.
You are, Lois. There's always more work to be done.
Yeah.
Morley, anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap?
Absolutely, do come out and join us on the 14th. It will be a great day and a great time, and it's just a fun event. And so please come.
Absolutely. July 14th, between 9 and 3 at Swan Park in Beaver Dam is when the 53rd annual Day in the Park Craft Fair will be happening. There is going to be so many vendors there. At last count about a month ago, over 172. Great food for you to enjoy. The American Legion Auxiliary will be hard at work, and cool activities, stuff for the kids too, live music entertainment. Congratulations on what is going to be an amazing event.
Absolutely.
And,
Thank you, Amy.
Yes.
you're welcome. Rain or shine, July 14th, a good time will be had by all at Swan Park. Morley, Monica, Lois, thank you again for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Hometown Today brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam and presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. This is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
If